So we are discussing about the work process administration. As part of the work process administration, we have completed the dialog, update, enqueue, background. The first four we have discussed. Today we'll discuss about the message server. Message server. So SMMS, message server. The transaction code for the message server is SMMS. SMMS. Right? MS means message server here. Right? SAP. M means maintenance. So maintenance transaction codes. That's why SMMS. Right? So SM13, SM14. So SM50, SM66. So we have SM12, SM30. Those are the, it starts with the S only, but few are with M, few are with different one that will come. Okay. So here message server is responsible for load balancing related activities. Load balancing. So related activities it will perform it. Load balancing means, so suppose if you have more than one application server, so your request will be routed to the respective application server here. Suppose if I take so suppose this is the presentation layer. This is here, you have the SAP GUI here, right? So presentation layer 2, you are connecting to the SAP here, SAP2 here. So here in the ASCS instance, the first time, then you have the application server instance. So, but this is only one application server for production instances. So, but you want one more application server to handle the load, of the users. So in this case, what you can do, so the users can directly connect to the message server, enqueue server, right? So here remaining 5 process here, including dispatcher here. Remaining 5 work process are available and each and every application server. So right, so that time normally what you are doing, you are directly connecting to the individual application server, which means, suppose example in our ECQ, you can see here in ECQ we have the 2 app servers, right? One is the SAP Windows 04 instance number application server 013. Sir, why it's running? This is the ASCS. Here. But here we have the 13 and 4. We have the, so 2 instances here, 2 application servers we have here. In the ECQ, we have the one is the 04, one is the 13. This is the 04. Let's assume this is the 04. This is the 13 application server you have added here, right? So each application server you have the dispatcher dialog work process. But what you are doing now in the application server instance, when you are connecting to the here, you are directly connecting to the 04 application server, not the 13 application server. So here only one thing is possible here. So you are directly connecting to the application server. Here. So which means you are directly connecting to the one dedicated application server, either this one you are connecting, right? So, but if you are directly connecting to the here, then how your request will go to the 13th application server, right? It won't go, right? It won't go here. Why? Because you are directly connecting to the here. If this is down, then you will assume like, okay, system is down, then you will not carry out your regular activities, right? So that is the reason what you have to do. Then you need to, so instead of this one, you need to bypass. If you have the more than one application server, your connection has to be bypassed here. Suppose example 04 13th, two application servers. In this case, you have to connect to the, here you are, instead of connecting to the direct application server, you need to connect to the message server. You need to connect to the ASCS instance here. So that if you are connecting to the ASCS instance, why? Because under the ASCS instance, we have these two application servers are there. Under the ASCS instance only, we have the two application servers here. If the ASCS down, immediately these two application servers also will be disconnected down. So ASCS is the very important for the SAP application servers. So when you are connecting through ASCS, here message server, okay, the request is coming to me. So I have to load balance here. So whether this application server is having the less load or this one is having the less load, then it will route the request to the your respective application server, either this one or this one. This one or this one, it will route the request to the respective application server here, right? In case of this is down, then all requests will go to the this one only. So here the user, he won't face any system down situation. He will directly log into the system, right? So that's the reason here message server, always when you have more than one application server, you need to connect via ASCS instance, which means message server instance, you need to connect it, so that message server responsibility is load balancing, performing the load balancing, which means, so requests are coming means, 4 requests are coming means, it will allocate the one request to the this application server. One is this one, second is this one, third is this one. Like this, round robin base, it will allocate the request to the respective application server. It will allocate the request, right? So then, sir, how to configure? Now, as of now, I'm directly, one application server means I'm directly connecting to the here, right? So, but I have two application servers. Then let system to decide it, which application server should I assign my request here. Then you can connect via ASCS instance here. So which means all your logon pads, you need to map to the group server selection here. So group server selection here. So which means here you need to type the connection type to the group server selection here. So provide the description fine. So SID is fine, right? Here message server. So your message server is SAP Windows. Then SAP Windows here, just you need to use the one syntax called the SAP Windows. Then 3305 is the code we have to give it here. Sir, why this we have to give this one, right? So when you log into the system, let me log into the system here. So you can see the message server port number. The message server port number, you have to use it here. Message server port number, you have to use it here. If you go to SMMS transaction code, you will see the what is the message server port number here, right? So 3605 we have to give it here. See here, under the message server here, you have the two instances are running here. So whenever request comes to the here, immediately either it will allocate to the 04 or 13th application server, it will assign the request here, right? It will assign the request here. So that is the reason, just you can map your request to the group application server. But here, okay, I will show you. ECQ, then message server, right? SAP Windows, then 3605, right? Then router string is not required. Just leave it empty. But group application server is important. Then you can type the group application server. Group server means, so from which group you are trying to log into the system? Which group you are trying to log into system. So message server load balancing work based upon the logon groups, here. So message server message server will distribute the work based upon the logon groups here. Sir, where can I create the logon groups here? So SMLG is the transaction code. Here you can create the logon groups. Logon groups means here we need to divide it here. Suppose example. So here, suppose here all India users, suppose like India users, I am restricting all India users should log into the 04 application server. 13th application server, right? So here I am restricting. So the people who are logging from India, so they can, the request will be assigned to the either 04 application server and 13th application server. The people who are logging to SAP, maybe suppose like a SAP. So I am only giving one application server to them, which means who are using the SAP application server group, they can only log into the 04 application server. Why? Because here I am allocating only one application server here, right? In this way, we can restrict it, the particular country users, particular group of users to use only the dedicated application server, not the entire system. Like that also, we can use it here. Then when you assign this one also, suppose like normally here example we created India. So sometimes we can also create the public groups, all the public users. Normally the group people will create like public groups, private groups. So otherwise some people they may create the country wise they will create the groups here, so that country wise I am assigning the two groups I have assigned to the public also. The who are the public users who are connecting to the SAP, if they use this group, their request will be routed to this respective application server, either this one, either this one. If you are using the only this group, he only connected to this group, then if the 04 is down, then he cannot log into the system. So let's see this scenarios. We will test these scenarios now. Okay, they will test in the next scenario. Now, so here 05 I have selected here 05. See here, otherwise just click on the new connection here, click on the next button here. Instead of the dedicated application server, you can use the group server selection here. Just to enter the ECQ groups, just giving the some description here, right? ECQ here. So message server, which means SAP Windows :3605. Sir, what is mean by here? So message server instance number, message server port number is the 36 instance number. So 36. What is the instance number of the here ASS instance? So 5, right? So that's why 3605 I have given here. So there is a port numbers for the each and every service here, right? So D, G, M. Okay, remember these three words here. D means dispatcher. Dispatcher port number is 32 instance number here. Gateway 33 instance number here. So message server, right? So 36 instance number. So instance number means your instance number is 04, then 04, 13, 13, 05, 05, it will come. But 323336. Remember this word. Few years back, I remembered this symptom. So these words. So then now if anyone ask me, I can easily answer DGM. Message server port number is the 36 instance number. Okay. So like that, you can just remember the instance, the port numbers of the, so the respective services here. Okay. These three are important here. Just you can remember. Okay. So here 3605. Then here you can just enter the group server selection here. So here what I will do, I'm selecting the India group here, right? India group here, I am selecting the India group here, right? So India group you selected here. So which means, so let me go to, so suppose I am from India, I am logging to the system. Group server selection. What happened? 1 minute. Let me close. Let me open. Create new connection. Okay. So next. So description, right? ECQ groups GRP. So groups wise, I am connecting here, not the individual application server. In that case, group server selection. Again, GCP groups. Okay. So then SID ECQ here, right? Message server means SAP Windows. So 3605, right? Now, if it is connecting, if you just click on this button, it should show all your groups. These are the common groups. These are the, by default, you will get it out here. So SAP we have, public we have, India we have. Suppose like let me connect the public group here, right? Just click on the next button. So finish. So through groups wise you are connecting. When you are connecting to the groups wise, see here your group selection. Here group server selection means you are not directly connecting to the dedicated application server. You are connecting to the public group. So this public group is assigned to the two application servers. So you can connect to the system either public group. Suppose like example, now I will log in with the different user now. So let me open one session here. Okay. So here one more screen I will open it here, right? So you will log in. Definitely you will log into the system here. Let me open SAP star here. So 2-3 sessions I am opening here. How the requests are allocating to the respective systems here, right? So respective systems here. I will open here SM50 here. So right. So SM50 here. Then one more session I am opening here. This is my session, right? I am also closing my session here, which I connected through individual application server, right? So just close this button. So then again, you are connecting to the ECQ only. So here also I will use the one more user, then connecting here, right? So here you will log in. A number of people will log into the systems here. Number of people will log into the systems here. So based upon this, your request will be routed. Based on this, your request will be routed to so AL08, all user sessions here. Here either you can use 04. Some users are in the 04 application server. Some users are in the 13th. Some client different 13th 04 application server, right? So different people, different way they're login to the systems, right? So even though suppose example, I will shut down the 04 application server, right? I'm shutting down the 04 application server here, right? 04 application server I'm shutting down now. 04 application server I'm shutting down now. Only app server I shut down here. So which means, so users cannot log in now, right? As per our case, ECQ, right? If I double click it here, why? Because I'm connecting to the 04 application server, I cannot log in. Why? Because 04 is not reached. 04 is not reached here. 04 is not reached. But here, if I use this group, I can connect it. How it is possible then? Your application server is down, right? Then how you
It's taken additional server.
Yeah, why? Because here your request has been routed. It's down. Then so okay, message server will assume like, oh, my boy, like my 04 application server is down. Okay, then I should not assign any request to the 04 application server. Then I have to route the request to the all requests should route to the 13th application server only. So everything will go to the 13. In this case, user, it won't face any issues here. User can log in, he can do the transactions. Why? Because this is down. So even though this is up, so message server will forward the request to the all these application servers, all these requests, all these application servers, it will allocate the request here. So here message server is performing the load balancing activity depending upon the groups which you created in SMLG. This is one of the new transaction code. So SMLG logon groups creation, logon groups creation. So even though you logged into the system, what I will do here, I will go to the SMLG here. See here 04 is down, completely down. That's why there is no status here. There is no status here. So here if you click this load distribution, here you will see the how many users are logged into the 13th application server. What is the response time? What is the response time of this application server here, right? What is the response time of this response? Means how much response time, how much time it will take to respond your request, right? So 9 users are allocated. This way we can observe it, how many users are logged into the system, then what is the application server load here, we can find out here, right? So depends upon the group, it will act it here. Suppose example, I will remove, I am using the public group, right? I will remove this public group also. I am removing the public group also, I removed, right? Public from my application server, I removed from the public group also here, right? So if I log in, then I won't log in here, right? Similar error in the load balancing routine, error in the load balance. Even I cannot log in now itself. Why? Because the 13th application server I removed from the load balancing activity. So suppose if I assign my 13th application server is available now. So if I save it, now if you log in, you logged into the system, right? You opened the system. So what happened here? So message server, what it is doing? So message server, what it is doing? Message server will check based upon your load balancing activity. Then your logon groups. Okay, you are connecting to this logon group. So okay, this logon group is assigned to the how many application servers? Only one application server. Then will push the request to this application server only. So if this is also not assigned, then you cannot log into the application server. Now let me start the here. Okay. So this is the way the message server is used to perform the load balancing activity depending upon the group, which will allocate the request to the respective application server. It will allocate the request to the respective application servers, right? So this way the message server will distribute the load here.
User request, you told that directly connecting. Previously, you told that it will connect to the dispatcher, then after only it will connect to the dialog. But now, where is the dispatcher of this?
Each application server, there is a dispatcher associated, right? Each
Okay,
application
first.
it will allocated. Then in this case, when you are connecting through ASCS instance groups, the request will go to the user. Then user will initiate the request. It will go to the ASCS instance, especially the message server. Then message server to the dispatcher to your dialog or process. This is the one. So initially we have the user, then directly you are connecting to the application server. Why? Because these two are there in the application server, you are connecting here. Now we have the multiple application servers. In this case, connecting to the single application server is not the recommended approach from the SAP. Why? Because we have the more than 2 application servers. If you are connecting to this application server, if this is down, then you cannot connect, right? Then if this is free, then we should pass some load to this application server also, right? Then connect from ASCS instance. Then that time the load balancing will work here. That time the load balancing will work.
That means if we have more than one application server, we have to configure through going through SMLG.
Right. SMLG, we have to add the groups, we have to create it. Why? Because while creating the connections from your group application server, it will ask the groups from which group you want to connect it. There is some advantages also while connecting this group. So all India users we can connect through this group, UK users, US users, like that. Based on that, we can connect it. Based on that, we can connect it, so that we have the some list, some sort of list here from which country of users facing the issues. That kind of issues we can face it. We can predict, we can find out here. This is the load balancing related activities here. Load balancing. So related activities we can find out from here. So load balancing. So message server will work based upon the group which you created, SMLG.
So can we, sir, say that it is like a route to means, log on to other systems also?
Other systems you cannot configure, only the SID. So you are connecting to the EC2. Only EC2 related application servers we can connect it. EC2 related, you have the 10 application servers, we can connect it. Either any one of the application server, the system will distribute it. You no need to distribute it. System will distribute the any one of the application servers here.
In any future, if we are creating additional server, means better to connect to the group.
First of all, we have
group
to
server.
Yeah, we have to assess. That is the perfect
Connection.
perfect point. So even if tomorrow you have installed the new application server, then to avoid the load, everything, so slowness and everything, then if tomorrow you created the one more application server, as soon as you create the application server, you need to assign the group. You need to add that application server into the groups list. Otherwise, that application server that application server won't get the load. It will be idle status only. So better when you create the new instance, new application server, as soon as you create it, immediately come to the SMLG, then add to the group list. Just add to the group list. That will come to the here list. Okay, add to the group list. So that will come. Okay, that will come here.
Those group list will be only automatically, it will be default 3 or 4.
Yeah, that space, the default we are getting, right? That space is that one, but remaining we have to create it here. So depends upon your company organization recommendation, you can create it here. So this country wise, we are not distributing anything, right? Just to remove the country. Why? Because we are not only Indian people, right? Other users also logging. So maybe public, sometimes RFC, some different naming convention. Which one is the good suitable? That group you can naming convention is, that's your wish. So, but it should be the something meaningful naming convention. We have to use it here.
Okay, I will create a logon group, but instance also it is showing here defaultly now. So automatically it will take by
Instance you have to
checking the
assign
load
it, right?
balance.
Instance you have to assign it, right? Here group you are creating. Suppose like some RFC group I am creating, then you have to assign the instance here. You have to assign the instance. Then one instance you have assigned. Then one more instance you are assigning to the, so this one. So for RFC groups, 2 instances you have assigned. Now I don't want to assign the 04 means just remove the instance 04. Remove the assignment. Just you can just remove the assignment. Then only this one. So who are connecting to through this RFC group? So they will connect to the only 13th application server. If the 13th application server is down, then they cannot connect to the another application server. Why? Because your group is assigned to the only one application server only. So if that is down, you cannot connect to the any other application server. If the group is assigned to the 2 application servers, then either one down, one up, then your request will be forwarded to the next application server. Okay, so this is the way the message server will distribute the load here. This is the way the message server will distribute the load to the message server will distribute the load here. Okay, message server will distribute the load here. Okay, it started now. So it started now. When you go to the SMLG, now see it come, all are come to the green status now. All are come to the green status now, right? So if you are connecting to the 13th, right? So then if just I can change the groups, we can change the groups here, but it's in the local IT team, they will maintain these settings here. And in the real time, in the organization, either the IT team or basis team, they will maintain the standard settings here. So user will not get the access to the SAP GUI. They can only see the entries, then they can connect it. That's it. But they will not get anything here. They will not get edit access to changes here. So we only either we have to assign to the public group or RC group, SAP group, whatever the groups we have, then we can assign to the respective system, right? Respective system. Then your request will be forwarded to the respective application server. This way, the load balancing will work here. So this is the message server related details here. Okay. So
port numbers, the instance number is like ACS instance number we have to give.
yes, right. Yes, right. So 32 dispatcher, right? 32 instance number. Dispatcher is available in the application server level. So what is our application server port number? 3204. So gateway. So here you can check it out. You no need to. So you no need to just to do that some analysis. You just expand the MMC. Here, if you go to the access points, here you will see the. So what is the gateway related RFC destinations? 323304, right? Dispatcher related dispatcher. So then IGS related, HTTP related. So HTTP, HTTPS ports. Here you can get the, so suppose if you go to the process list here, access points. Access points means it will give the port number. What is the port number? So 3205, 3605, 3605 is the message server here. So you can see here 3605. So like this, so each app server, each instance, there is a port numbers, dedicated port numbers here. It will be assigned, depends upon the your instance number 13. 13 means 13, 13, 13, 13, 32, 13, 33, 13. So like that. So in your suppose your gateway is available in the application server level, right? So what is the gateway is available in the application server level. So this application server instance number is the 13. So DGM, G means gateway, is the 33. So it's like 3304 is the your gateway instance number, gateway port number. Just remember the DGM, dispatcher gateway message server 323336. Just remember these three words. Okay. Got it? Any questions, anyone?
Sir, here instance number means on which instance we are logging. IN instance.
Which one?
In simple words, what you are telling that PGM 323336
Yeah.
IN, that instance on which we are logging.
No, that is just it's outside of the topic. Actually, that is to remember the port numbers. Simple logic. DGM. So DGM means, so sometimes interview point of time or some real time, immediately your manager will come, will ask you, so can you tell me what is the port number of the message server? Immediately he will ask you. Then at that time you are in the dial master, give me some time. I have to log into my system. Then here SMMS, if you go to the SMMS, you will get the details. So these details you can provide to your manager. Instead of you waiting here, so sorry, it's like DGM, right? It's a 36. So it's a 36 instance number. It will be allocated 3605, like that. Like that, you can inform to your manager. So sometimes tomorrow he will ask you, Okay, if I change my message server instance number to 10, what will be the port number of the message server? Sometimes he will cross check you. Then
3610.
yes, right, exactly. So to avoid simple type of questions also, I'm explaining about the small procedure. It's not like that you need to remember. Just so 32 it will come. Then 33 it will come. So then they will give the 34, that is fine, but they given the 36 here. So 32 instance number, 33 instance number. How the port allocation will happen means this is the way the port allocations will happen here. So this is the standard. 32, 33, 36 are the standard. By default, SAP will take care of this allocation. We cannot change it. But here instance number is based upon the instance number we have given during the installation time. So that instance numbers will be allocated. Okay. Here in the message server side, we can check the logs also here. If we go to the trace, so trace file, same trace file. Just if we go to the trace file, so how the requests are handling. So all the information it will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed here. But here, as part of our daily monitoring, here we can only check the message server is running or not, or under the message server, you have the all the application servers are available, active or not. If it is active, then only it will route the request to the, it is the active, then only it will route the request to the respective application server. If it is the deactive means application server is down. It won't allocate the request here. It won't allocate the request here, right? So that is the main information here. So here we can check the message server, but message server will route the request based upon the your logon groups here. See here. So here in this application server, we have the one user. In this application server, we have the 4 users. But this application server response is very fast, but this application server response is very high. Very high means something is running very long time here. Something is running here. So 4,000 milliseconds, which means in the 04 application server. So what's happening in the 04 application server? Let's go to the SM51, then double click it, then see. So something is running from the 000. Oh, we are only using that application server currently. So that is the reason we are only using this application server. So that's the reason. So it's using here. So 04 application server 000. So SAP star, we are using this one. And also we can check it out the response time area high means, so any jobs are running or not here. So any jobs are running very long time, or what is happening in the system. So just check it out here. Only active, no active jobs, fine. Load distribution. So you can see here 2 users now. So they have 4 users, 2 users, 4 users. So we can check what are those users here. AL08, all users. So if you check only one user, if you check only one application server, then SM04. This is only one application server related. So in one application server, how many users are logged in, that information will be displayed. So if you go to the AL08, all users, then all users related information will be displayed here. All users related information will be displayed. Suppose you want to log off this user, then select this session, right? Select this session, then we can log off here. So currently there is no user. We can switch to that application server, then select the user, select the session. So then you want to log off this user, then delete the session, right? Then your user session will be logged out from the system. Your session will be logged out from the system here. So that will happen, right? So this way also we can find out which user, how many users are logged into the system, then what is the memory usage of the each and every user. So what exactly he is doing, respect to what exactly he is doing, all the information you can see.
As a real time also, without intimation of them, we can delete their sessions
No,
if it is getting.
real time, actually in the real time, every time we need to follow the company policy, approval policy, right? So
Okay.
suppose you assume, okay, this is the person is using the most of the memory, is doing something, because of this user all remaining users are impacting. In that case, we can remove it. But what we can do, just inform to your manager as a process wise, inform to your manager, or just ping the user, please minimize the session. Even though he is not responding, nothing is there, just check the user information. You will get the user information. Who is the user? First name, last name, email ID, all the details you will get from here. So that select that user, pings in the Teams if he is available. If not available, just inform about the your issue, current issue, because of the user, remaining users, and just describe all your issues and everything. Send an email to the customer or your manager or a team lead. Just have a word with them. If it is okay, then we can just to cancel that. We can forcefully log off that user here. Why? Because if you don't follow the process, right, organization, the company will detect you. Detect you means, so will